This is what the narcissist does when they want revenge in silence. Have you ever felt like something was wrong, but you couldn't quite explain why? They don't insult you, they don't yell, they don't openly blame you. And yet, somehow, you feel like you're the problem. Suddenly, their eyes change. The atmosphere shifts. There's a cold distance you can't understand. You start searching for answers, blaming yourself, trying to fix everything, just to feel close to them again. But deep down, you sense it. Something's off. And that something is silence. Not a silence meant to reflect. Not a pause to cool down. But a calculated move. A strategy. A silent form of narcissistic revenge that cuts deep, without a single word. When the narcissist feels wounded, they don't always explode. Sometimes, they vanish. They freeze you out. They punish you through indifference. And while you're still wondering what you did wrong, you don't realize you're already trapped in a silent punishment. One designed to make you feel guilty, unstable, and smaller with every passing day. If you've ever found yourself asking, are they ignoring me to punish me? Why won't they talk to me? Is it something I did? Or am I being emotionally manipulated? This video is for you. Today, we're stepping into the mind of the narcissist when they choose silent revenge. You'll discover the tactics they use, the goals behind them, how to spot them before they destroy your peace, and most importantly, how to protect your energy without playing into their hands. Stay with me until the end, because the final tactic might be the one you're enduring right now, without even knowing it. If you truly want to break free from these destructive dynamics and transform your life, you're in the right place. Click subscribe to Chosen One's Awakening and turn on the bell. Start your journey today. 1. Punishing silence. There is a type of revenge that is not shouted, but is heard. Not with words, but with absences. When the narcissist feels hurt, he does not always respond with anger. Often he disappears. He excludes you, ignores you, leaves you hanging. And that silence is not casual. It is calculated. It is a punishment. He does not tell you that he is angry with you. He does not explain anything to you. But he stops answering. He looks at you without seeing you. He does not speak to you. You ask yourself what you have done wrong. You try to make amends. You blame yourself. But in reality, you are suffering an invisible attack, punitive silence. This type of behavior activates an alarm reaction in the brain. The lack of answers is experienced as danger. You feel confused, anxious, and have to fix everything even if you dawn and number 39, know what, and number 39's broken. The narcissist thus creates a dynamic of control, where you lower yourself, apologize, justify yourself, while he maintains power. He often alternates phases of distance and reconnection. Sometimes he talks to you, sometimes he disappears again. This is what we call intermittent reinforcement. And in some cases, even if he disappears, he continues to orbit around you. He watches your stories, leaves likes. He shows up, but never really comes back. This behavior has a specific name, orbiting. It serves to keep you tied up, to not allow you to move forward. But you are not wrong. You are not the cause of that silence. The real problem is the use of silence as a form of manipulation. 2. Withdrawal of affection. At first, he made you feel special. He sought you out, looked at you with admiration, made you feel like the center of his world. Then, one day, everything changed. Without an explanation, he stopped. No more caresses, no more affectionate words. No I love yous, no I miss yous. Just coldness, detachment, indifference. Not out of tiredness, but out of calculation. Because when the narcissist feels challenged or questioned, he often chooses to withdraw affection as a form of revenge. He takes away what he previously gave you in abundance. And you, who were used to that attention, begin to miss it as if it were your fault. It is a dynamic that creates emotional dependence. You try to regain his gaze, his voice, his closeness. You force yourself to be more understanding, kinder, more yielding. You adapt, You cancel yourself. But he remains distant. The narcissist knows that you are looking for his love, and for this very reason he denies it. It is a strategy. He starves you emotionally to control your behavior. From a psychological point of view, this technique is based on a powerful mechanism: intermittent conditioning. As in addictions, the reward arrives in an unpredictable way. Sometimes he speaks to you, sometimes he doesn't, and #39. Sometimes he hugs you, other times he rejects you. This creates confusion, expectation, need. It is not love, it is a form of emotional manipulation. And what makes it all the more painful is that instead of getting angry, you feel like you are the problem. You think that if you were different, he would go back to how he was. But the truth is something else. True affection is not taken away to punish. It is not a commodity to be deserved. It is a presence that remains even when there are difficulties. If someone denies you warmth to control you, it is not love. It is domination. And stopping chasing after him is the first gesture of freedom. 3. The disguised devaluation. Sometimes it starts with a joke, a half-said sentence, in front of others. You know how she is, she always exaggerates everything. Or maybe, impossible to choose a restaurant with her without arguing. You smile, you try to laugh it off, but inside, something breaks. Because you know it was a joke. It was a jab, a devaluation disguised as humor. And the worst thing is that it happens in front of others. In front of your family, your friends, his colleagues, and you, so as not to be seen as the exaggerated one, the one who can take a joke, remain silent. But inside you feel humiliated. This is another way the narcissist chooses to get revenge, by hitting your public image without ever raising his voice. He doesn't insult you directly. He doesn't attack you openly. But he throws poisonous phrases in a passive-aggressive way, with irony, with sarcasm. So if you try to react, he already has the defense ready. It was just a joke. You are the one who never understands anything. And again, you are seen as the problematic one, the fragile one, the one who makes a tragedy out of everything. Psychologically, this is called covert aggression. It is a form of relational violence that undermines your self-esteem without leaving visible marks. Over time, you begin to believe that maybe you are actually exaggerating, that maybe you are too sensitive, that you should lighten up. But that is not the case. That joke was not innocent, it was a knife thrust with a smile. And the more it happens in public, the more calculated it is. The narcissist not only wants to hurt you, but also wants to gain sympathy, to show off as the one who tolerates your character, who takes you with irony, while in reality he is dismantling you piece by piece. If you recognize yourself in this dynamic, stop. Breathe. Remember, those who love you do not ridicule you. They do not expose you. They do not make you feel small to make themselves feel great. True love protects you even in front of others. It honors you. It defends you. Even in difficulties. Even in disagreements. And if today you can see the devaluation for what it is, you have already begun to find your voice again. If up to this point you have felt touched by every word, if you have recognized pieces of your story in what we have told, know that you are not alone. If you want to support this space of awareness and healing, you can leave a super thank you. It is a small but powerful gesture to say, I am here, and I want to continue this journey. Or write in the comments, I want to start my journey. We are a community that recognizes, listens to, and supports each other, and every gesture of yours has an impact. 4. Emotional triangulation. There comes a moment when you feel that something has changed. You can and define it, but you feel it. It, as if a third presence has entered your bond. Sometimes it has a precise name, an ex, a colleague, a friend. Other times it, just a shadow. A comparison made of small hints, half sentences, fleeting glances. Have to explain everything to her, my ex. Make a drama out of it. You know, my colleague understands me immediately. Not a direct insult. Not an explicit statement. But a perfect way to make you feel less. To destabilize you. To put you in competition with someone else. This strategy has a name. emotional triangulation. And it is one of the most subtle yet effective forms of narcissistic revenge. Its purpose is only one: to make you feel insecure, replaceable, never enough. The narcissist introduces another element into the relationship, real or symbolic, to undermine your self-esteem. And you, without even realizing it, begin to fight for a place that was already yours. You force yourself to be liked more, to change, to prove that you are worthy. You begin to compare yourself. You ask yourself what she has that you don't, and in that comparison, you lose yourself. From a psychological point of view, this technique activates the threat and rejection circuit. The brain interprets it as an alarm. You could lose his love. You could be abandoned. So you get active, you get agitated, you lose your balance. Exactly what he wants. He wants to see you struggle, flounder, chase. And when you finally try to speak, to express your discomfort, he turns everything against you. Are you jealous? Now I can even talk to someone? Exaggerating as always. In this way, he absolves himself, makes you look irrational, and turns the situation on its head. You feel guilty for the simple fact of having expressed an emotion. This is a form of deep emotional invalidation, because it sends you a precise message. You are not enough. And if you don't adapt, someone else will take your place. But the truth is that those who love you do not put you in competition with anyone. They do not use comparison as a threat. They do not introduce other presences to keep you in line. If someone has to hurt you through another to make you reflect, they are not loving you. They are manipulating you. And recognizing this, as painful as it is the first step to break out of the cycle of insecurity. Because you are not a reserve. You are a person. And you do not have to prove anything to those who choose to destabilize you. 5. Silent sabotage. There are moments when you finally get back up. You start a new project, make an important decision, sign up for a course, take a step towards your freedom. And right at that moment, he changes. He becomes cold, distant, irritable. He tells you that you are exaggerating, that you are only thinking about yourself, that maybe you are doing it to distance yourself. At first, it seems like a coincidence. Then you realize that it happens all the time. Every time you try to evolve, something in him goes out, and something in you breaks. This is one of the narcissist's most invisible but most destructive forms of revenge. Silent sabotage. He doesn't stop you openly. He doesn't tell you not to do it. But he drains your energy, makes you feel guilty, undermines your motivation. He does it with vague comments, with half-said sentences, with absences at crucial moments. If you have a presentation, argue the night before. If you have to study, create tension. If you are happy, he appears annoyed. It is as if your success, your autonomy, put him in crisis. Because the narcissist does not tolerate you growing, if this means you might no longer depend on him. This dynamic has deep roots. In psychology, we talk about control through emotional dependence. The more you strengthen yourself, the more he loses power. And then he does everything he can to make you go back. But he does not do it in an obvious way. He does it with small, continuous, subtle gestures. With phrases that seem thoughtful, but are hidden mines. I say this for your own good. I do not want you to stress out. But are you sure it really helps? And so, without realizing it, you begin to doubt yourself. To think that maybe you've done it all wrong. That your ambitions are excessive. That maybe it's better to stay where you are, with him, safe. But not safety, means prison. And that taking care of you, in reality, is just the fear of losing you. Fear that you fulfill yourself. That you discover how capable you are. And that one day you stop accepting crumbs. Those who truly love you support you. They encourage you when you doubt. They celebrate you when you succeed. They leave you room to grow, even if that means you become stronger. The narcissist, on the other hand, feels threatened by your awakening. Because he doesn't know how to love without dominating. He doesn't know how to stay next to someone who walks on his own 2 feet. If you recognize this type of sabotage, stop, breathe. Remember, Your dreams are not too much. Your choices are not selfish. Your growth is not a threat. It is life. And no one has the right to turn it off just because they can control it. We've just uncovered 5 silent but deeply painful strategies. 5 forms of revenge the narcissist uses not through words, but through silence. Not with actions, but with absence. And if even one of these dynamics felt familiar, there's something you need to hear. You are not the problem. You were manipulated. You're not weak. You were caught in an invisible war. But today, you're more aware. And awareness is the first step toward freedom. Don't let them convince you it's your fault. Don't stay silent out of fear of being judged. Speaking up breaks the cycle. It stops you from chasing someone who punishes you for loving them. It reminds you of something essential. You deserve a love that doesn't withdraw, doesn't vanish, and doesn't erase who you are. A love that stays, even when things get hard, even when you're not perfect. If this video brought you clarity, subscribe to Chosen One's Awakening. Every week, we share tools, guidance, and deep insight for those healing from toxic relationships and reclaiming their power. And if you're ready to begin your personal journey today, check the description to download the free PDF of The Circle of Life and get started with the Mind Flow method. Thank you for staying with us until the end. We'll see you in the next video.